Hey everybody, welcome back to another exciting episode of Ancient Relics, Hokey Religions. I'm your host and Dungeon Master, the real Josh T. And thank you for joining us tonight. We are so happy to have you here. We got a lot of fun stuff planned, but before we get into that, I would like everyone here, all of my favorite friends and family at this table, or computer screen, whatever, I'd like you all to let us know who you are, who you play, where we could find you if you would like people to find you on the internet, of course, what you have going on, and then also, let's think of like a fun question about your characters. What should we do today? Why don't you just, this one should be easier than the last ones. Why don't you just describe their sense of fashion? And we will start off with a Mr. Jacoby.
Well, hello. My name is Jake. I am one of the J's in J&J Tabletop. You will see things circling underneath me. Right now it says at J&J Tabletop. You should go check that out. But I'm playing Vale, who is the Elven Fighter Warlock. He's a multi-class character. And Vale's sense of fashion. I feel like Vale... I feel like Carrick would probably try to shop at like Banana Republic, but Vale would keep it easier. And like he wouldn't wear flashy clothes by any stretch, but like definitely a little more casual. But always neat and put together, because he's a high elf. I think you're required to be put together as a high elf. You're not allowed to not be put together. That's a joke. You can have a high elf that's not put together. It's fine.
We're not condoning drug use.
Yes,
FYI.
That is 100% true. But yes, Vale would probably be pretty neat as far as that goes. But yeah, you'll see. Actually, we got some Sugared Row art on screen. That's you'll get to see some of the fashion there. So I will now, because it's always fun to throw her on the spot. Izzee, why don't you tell us a little bit about you and all the things?
Hi, I'm Izzee. I'm Melly, and I think Melly is fast for the most part.
Izzee, is your everything okay with your signal? Maybe we'll go to Evan instead, and we'll see if we can sort that out.
Okay. Hello. I'm Evan, aka Evbo. I play Echo, the Halfling Monk. You could find me right underneath my face here at Halfling Monk. Shoot! You could find me at It's Evbo on everything. It should cycle through in just a second. Tomorrow, just FYI, because you said what's going on, I've got a stream that I'm going to be doing. I've been playing through Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door, doing voice acting for it, using voice mod, which has been an absolute blast. So, please come check it out if you can. And what is my character's fashion sense? I think Echo's about as straightforward as it gets. His fashion sense, I think, translates directly over to the real world, which is to say, he would kind of dress like a bartender all the time. You know, he's the guy that wears a long sleeve shirt, a long sleeve, dress shirt and a vest over it. Like no matter what the occasion is, he's always got a waistcoat on. But, he might still wear, like, sweatpants if he's doing, like, Zoom work or whatever. So he's still got, like, his nice clothes up top, but likes to have his legs free to move as he pleases. But that's pretty much it.
Before we pass it off to the next person, can I put you on the spot and have you do one of your favorite voices from your playthrough of The Thousand Year Door that you've been voice acting?
Oh, geez.
If you have one. You don't have to, but if you have one, go for it, because that's been a lot of fun.
Sure, we could do the cursed chests for anyone who's familiar with the Thousand Year Door. These little chests that they'll try to convince you to find the key for it to open it up, and then you end up getting cursed, and gives you all your fun paper powers throughout the game. So you'll go around, you'll find the key, you'll get back to it, pop it open, and suddenly you're greeted with
Would you like to be cursed? It is the most cursy curse that's ever cursed you.
So that's the kind of thing you can expect.
That's excellent. I
Kind of
love
awesome.
that. Thank you,
Yeah,
Evan.
that's a small sample, but still. Yep, he's Evan.
All right.
That's what you get.
That is what you get. Oh, also, that tool that Evan just used to make his voice do that super cool thing, that's something called voice mod, which we use here. I use it. Evan uses it. I believe Jake has it now as well. And Evan actually has a code for that. So if you want to get voice mod, and is there a discount?
Yeah.
Is there 5?
So if you go to voice mod, I don't think you have to use my link anymore to get to it. It seems like it's all done through the codes now, which is cool. They just updated it. But if you use code, it's EVBO at checkout, ITS EVBO at like right underneath the face right here. It gives you 5% off. And the lifetime license is only like $30. So for, $28.50, you get a really cool voice changing tool forever. It's great. Check it out.
As they would say on Rare Drop Sports, I think it's a home run, so you should do it.
See, it's not just me. It's not just me. That's all I'll say.
All right, Mr. Yoda, you want to tell us about?
I am. That's me. I play Mac, the Halfling Rogue. My socials everywhere are Mr. Yoda_I_M. For his fashion sense, honestly, he just doesn't like to stick out. So it's just very common, stuff. Usually a little bit worn. Like he doesn't know. I mean, not to say that he doesn't get brand new stuff, but he tends to keep things for a little while. So like, and wears them on a regular basis and doesn't have that many different styles to go through. So usually just a little bit worn, but plain clothes.
Very nice.
That tracks.
And let me ask you another question on that. Is it like just because he wants to get the most out of what he's using, as far as like why he doesn't like use his stuff for too long, we'll say, or is there something else behind
It's
that?
mainly because of the fact he doesn't want to stick out. He wants, just because of his upbringing, he always just wants to blend in as best as possible. So, in this kind of world, common folk tend to have worn clothes and, just kind of plain stuff. Not to say they might not have a nice outfit somewhere, but just normal everyday life, it's the same few things that they're going to wear. So he kind of just falls into that routine as well.
Very nice.
And he can't really remember the last time that he got really dressed up to other than the sailor outfits.
I was about to ask that. That's great.
Absolutely.
We're still just figuring out some Discord issues and that kind of stuff, so just bear with us. But we'll come back to Izzee and have her answer her questions, and we'll just do the announcements for now. So welcome. As you know, this is Rare Drop. This is Rare Drop Roleplay specifically. And Rare Drop Roleplay is essentially, I like to call it, Rare Drop's delve into the dungeon world of tabletop RPGs. So here you could find basically this game on Sundays. Tuesdays they had Reckoning Hour. I believe there is something happening, something coming down the pipeline at some point soon. I just don't know when. But there are all sorts of projects happening and more things to come. So if you want to catch up on all of that and all things Rare Drop, go to raredrop.co. And if you want to catch up on past episodes of this show or the other show, then you can find them anywhere podcasts are available. It's going to be Rare Drop Roleplay, also on YouTube at Rare Drop Roleplay, and on our YouTube, that's J&J Tabletop. We have a playlist that has all of our past episodes on there that are on YouTube. There are still some that aren't on YouTube yet, but they'll get there. But wherever you're listening, just please feel free to follow, like, share, subscribe, tell your friends, all that kind of stuff. So, This is Rare Drop. We are J&J Tabletop. Mr. Jake, you want to explain
Yes.
what that means, what that is?
What is J&J Tabletop? J&J Tabletop is essentially a group of friends that play D&D together, and Josh and I make videos to try and help people get the most out of their games, whether you're a player, DM, a total noob, or someone who's been playing for over 30 years. We like to think that no matter what walk of life as far as D&D goes, you'll be able to get something out of our videos, because we like to try to spark people's imagination as to how they can play better, how they can really create a character that they want to be passionate about and they get excited to play every time that they come to the table, which is one of the best joys, I think, that this game has to offer. But yes, head to J&J Tabletop, which is on YouTube, and go ahead and throw us a sub there. Command J&J in chat if you're here live. And if you're not watching this live on Twitch and you're watching on YouTube, it's probably in the description. If not, there's a link tree. You'll find it. But yeah, we do videos every week, and we've been doing some Feywild videos. We had an intro a couple weeks ago, just going over the Feywild in general. And this week, we talked about psychotic killer gnomes, Josh. Like those
guys
things
are crazy.
Yeah, they're called red caps. Why? Because they look like little mushrooms when they're first born. Except for the red cap is like weird blood and stuff, and it's they're actually freakishly strong.
They're crazy.
Yep.
Honestly, it's so easy to overlook a lot of the fey creatures that are in the well, not the DMG, in the monster manual or anywhere else. Just because a lot of them are like really low CR and that kind of stuff. But holy crap, man! You look at something like red caps or even like quicklings, like little guys, not a crazy high challenge rating, but they're so interesting and just crazy. Exactly what you could expect from the Feywild. So if you wanna check that out, ! J&J, you'll find it there. And then upcoming, we're gonna talk about some Fey character options and concepts, kind of like some of the races and lineages out there, backgrounds, and then classes, subclasses, and then definitely a new homebrew subclass having to do with the Feywild. And you're just gonna have to tune in this week to find out what's going on there.
Who's that? Are we gonna release that this week? We haven't talked about this yet. That's always fun.
I don't know, but you should tune in anyway this week, because maybe you'll find out.
That's true.
But
Izzy's still working on her computer, by the way.
Yeah.
So we'll just keep going and see what happens.
Was Sparky Boom Man was voiced by Ray Romano? Really?
Yeah, you don't remember that?
Yeah.
Abra!
I'm going to blow you up now.
There you go. Classic.
That's great. It's funny. Every time like we're about to go live, you guys don't see it. Maybe you might hear like a faint like background noise or something for a moment while we're still on the starting scene screen. But every time we're about to go live, I unmute myself, realize I don't have my show notes up, mute myself again, and then panic open Google Docs to get my show notes back up. And that's part of the weekly ritual. So
I always know when you do because I see the little cursor show up on Google. Look, Josh is here now. This is good. He's our host.
What's everybody drinking tonight? Chat and friends on screen, friends off screen. What are we drinking? Invest in sticky notes? I mean, I should invest in sticky notes. I have a lot of note cards, but...
See, I have a checklist, but it's on the Google Doc that Josh didn't open, so I don't think it's working.
Well, I go through, I have my process, like I'll open everything up, whatever. I have this tab, this tab, this tab. I'm only going on 2 screens, which is actually kind of tough.
Yes.
And then I'm like, okay, here's the last step. Oh my God, I didn't bring up the show notes. And it's just fun. It just happens. Get some
I'm-
lemonade later, some iced
I'm boring.
honey almond milk, flat white. Oh, wow. Okay. Dang.
I'm into it.
You're boring, Jake?
I have water.
Very nice. Water out of a blue Solo cup.
Yes.
What a hipster.
Got to be different somehow.
It tastes better out of a blue Solo cup as opposed to a red.
It does.
You can't put water in a red Solo cup.
It's like false advertisement. There's
Drinking
way
a
better
delicious
things
pumpkin ale.
that you could find to call me a fraud than that.
Pumpkin ale. Very nice. Michael?
A mango strawberry wine.
Wow.
And
that
water.
Sounds,
Mm-hmm.
It's
that
delicious.
sounds really cool. Holy cow.
Do you think Mac would drink that? Like, it feels like, would he?
Probably not.
No,
What
okay.
you know, Mac would drink anything. So
Mac would
probably.
just-
If that's what was there, he would. I mean, he did drink the plum wine pretty much out of stock. So
Like, this is booze? I'm into it. Here we go.
I know Echo would drink it. Well, I don't know that. I think Echo would drink it.
He would.
I'm just drinking, I have Cascara iced tea there. That also became a weekly ritual. A weekly ritual.
It
you
cast
know,
a spell
call-
on you, that ritual.
Oh boy. Yeah, coffee
I actually
in the
got Evan to
morning.
make a sound.
Nice. That's a win. All right. Well, everybody, thanks for showing up. Well, no, just a reminder to everyone, clip your favorite moments. If something silly happens like that, feel free to clip that too, so we could laugh at ourselves. It just, it helps with everything, honestly. We like to see what you care about, which obviously you're going to clip something that you liked. So it's cool for us to share that together. And then it also helps when we're making like promos and any sort of like rewinds or extended clips or anything like that. It definitely helps. So
He's
we
back.
we
I think
have
she's back.
an Izzee.
He has made it.
Can you see me okay?
We see and hear you. We have great success.
Wonderful.
Woo!
So, Izzee, welcome back.
Thanks.
So we already went through the announcements and everything, but I would really love for you to tell everyone who your character is, who you are, and like just describe Melly's sense of fashion to everyone.
Okay, so Izzee, I play Melly, and her sense of fashion, she's definitely very practical. Like, she's not like out wearing like fancy stuff unless she has to. She's got like regular work, like farm boots with like a very practical like dress. It's like tightly fitted so it doesn't get caught and stuff. Yeah, she is not a super frilly person. Not that she doesn't appreciate it, but that's just not her.
I just had this thought. Do you feel like Melly may or may not have made her own clothing at some point?
Oh, for sure. She
Yeah.
definitely has worn her own stitched together stuff and then also hand-me-downs. She's a big fan of like reduce, reuse, recycle.
It's great.
Very nice.
Repurpose.
Something we could all learn from.
We're gonna repurpose that dragon hide she nat 20'd.
So I have a question then. Was the cloak like one of those little splurges that she got for herself? Like, because I feel like it was a little bit fancier with the fact that it had the two different sides and was specifically patterned on one side.
Or was it
Yeah.
like a carpet or curtain that you repurposed into clothing?
That actually, her cloak was fashioned by her mother. All of her sisters and her have them. It's to promote like the business. So like when they're out doing business, they're supposed to wear the cow side out as like, oh, like look, there's the Plum Groves farmer girls. She does love her cloak because her mom made it for her, but it's like probably the flashiest thing that she owns.
Very nice. That's cool to hear.
Makes sense.
Cool. Was there a kitten on screen?
Nia
Oh.
mentioned it, so yeah,
What
I'm sure there was.
What? If you want to
He's a
see
little
more pictures,
feisty tonight.
oh, dude, Moshi last night. Anytime Indy tried to lay down, I would see him just come out the corner and do the little shake that cats do, and like jump, grab him, or walk in front of him, act like he's fine, and then smack him in the face. It was, ugh. But if you want to see more pictures of all of our pets, really, but specifically Snowflake, the kitten that you just saw on screen, then do Command J&J, join our Discord, because we have a little pets section in there where we'll share pictures of our pets, and we hope that you do too, because all of us are animal lovers here. So, but I believe we are ready. I don't know why I fell into a brain voice, but we'll do the same thing we do every Sunday. And, I'll just remind you again quickly, clip your favorite moments, and let's get into the recap. Because last week on Ancient Relics and Hokey Religions, our group of adventurers had just patched themselves up from a crazy fight with a dragon. It was pretty rough for a while. They thought they might lose Echo, and really the dragon's breath could have taken out a lot of them, but they came out on top. They went through, they found what they were looking for as far as the remains of the Jarl's son, or the Jarl's son. They rappelled down into the dragon's lair, did some little ice skating, and thawed out every little piece of coin and gear and potion and a really cool staff. And after they picked everything up, they climbed back out with the best climbing checks that we've got yet from this group. So great job, everybody. And they went to continue on home, or rather to the home of the Frost Giants. But it was a little late at night, so they decided to take a rest and just chill out in the cave. That was not a white dragon pun, I promise. After that, they moved on. They found the body of the dragon, still preserved because of how cold it is there. And Melly decided that she was going to just check and see if she could salvage some parts of it. And apparently, she was a butcher in a past life, or a hunter in the current life. I don't know. But she did a really good job salvaging all the important bits of the dragon. And now they have a bag of holding filled with coins and potions and literal dragon pieces. So we will continue right there, as our adventurers have just finished up with the body of the dragon. Any last thoughts, or is there anything that like comes to mind? Really, I'm thinking specifically for Echo, having really aside from just seeing it now and seeing Melly kind of harvest some pieces from it. The last time you saw this dragon, Echo was really angry, and he almost had like kind of a rage take over him as he just kind of beat the hell out of the dead body. Is there anything internally going on, seeing it again, seeing the lifeless corpse?
Yeah, absolutely. So Echo, since seeing the trophy room in the cave, all of these creatures and things frozen in ice, and how the dragon was like holding on to them as like a sign, like, haha, I beat them, this is my thing, I've completely dominated it, and now it belongs to me, it's a thing. He's been a little weird, definitely quieter overall than usual, with the exception of yelling about a mimic. because he didn't know what it was. But seeing, like, having that moment where, you know, everyone was like, oh, this dragon, yeah, we better, you know what, let's take this thing apart, and like everyone's kind of like pulling pieces off it, and maybe at some point someone's like, Echo, do you like want a piece of this thing? And he probably wouldn't have answered, at least not with words, maybe just kind of like, you know, shake his head and kind of do like a no thank you sort of motion. But he's definitely feeling very weird about that as a concept, especially because it spoke to them, like this was a sentient thing. So he feels very weird, and he doesn't really know what to do with that. But I'll say he probably doesn't vocalize any of that unless anybody happens to notice that he's acting a little weird. But I would say he's probably not acting so strangely outwardly. He's just kind of thinking about a lot right now. Just like, almost died. It keeps trophies. We kind of did the same thing. He's just doing like a lot of stuff running through his head. But again, he probably wouldn't vocalize that unless it came up.
Awesome. Okay. That's a very, very interesting take, and I like that. I like that a lot. Does anyone else have anything specific or anything that their character might say as you finish this up, or are we all just kind of ready to move on?
Mac is ready to move on.
Yeah, I think Vale too.
All right. Sounds good. Yeah, so you continue on your journey, making it back to the home of the Frost Giants. Why don't we just roll a quick survival check, whoever's leading the way. Unless, yeah, nice, good.
Now come the dice.
I actually realized that I left some of them in dice jail to think about what they did to me last week.
They spent the whole week in there. Oh,
Yep. They
Well,
were
let's
bad,
see.
so
Let's see if they do better this week.
all right. Here we go. We're gonna go with Okay, come on, bud. Oh my gosh, going back in dice jail. Hold, sorry.
You're all good.
I gotta pull up my page. My thing got all.
Travel. Forgotten mechanic. What'd you roll? Just like natural?
It's a 3.
A 3? Okay.
Yep. So
Alright.
not very good.
you think Carrick would be helping? I feel like the two of them have been leading those kinds of things.
I think, all right. So I'll tell you this. If you want Carrick to give you advantage, that's fine. Or if you want me to just continue on with what might happen, that's also fine. I'll leave it up to Melly. Or Izzee, rather.
After that emotional roller coaster with the dragon, we don't need any more events happening right now that aren't necessarily cheery. So let's see how the ducks treat me today.
Okay.
Oh, much better. It's a natural 19. Those
Very
ducks.
nice.
So it's
Excellent.
23 in total, I believe.
Perfect.
If
perfect.
I am adding all of that right.
That sounds right. So, all right. Yeah, so Melly, like, kind of starts to look like she's going to go the wrong way, and Carrick kind of, like, lifts his finger like he's going to be like, actually, it's this way. And then Melly just starts walking off in the correct direction, and he just kind of, like, you know, like, shuts up, and you all continue on your journey. You find on your way back actually pretty nice weather, actually. So it's pretty calm. Where there has been a lot of wind, previously, blizzards, whiteouts even on this journey, but right now, pretty favorable conditions. And before long, you make your way back to that little valley, or rather large valley, where the frost giants had their home. And as you continue down, walking towards this fortress, there are the 2 frost giant guards standing up front. And you see a little surprise on their faces as they see the 4, or I guess 5 of you return, and so quickly. It's really only been what, 2 days since he left. So
I think so.
as you draw closer, they'll say, "You return already. Change your mind and run away." With like a hmm? Did you change your mind and run away?
No. That would not be the onerous thing to do. We've returned with dragon parts in tow, and the symbol that Bjorn bared. Melly will reach into the bag of holding and
you kind of popped in and out there for a second, but reach into the bag holding and take the amulet, I believe, right?
Yep.
There's a look of like surprise, and then a little bit somber for a second as they see this, and they realize what it means. And they'll just say to you, "The Jarl will want to hear this news right away. Come in." And they'll open up the door and kind of lead you through the same pathways that they went through last time. And like I said, it's like, wow, this is a really nice open floor plan. Like, these frost giants, as much as they just like focus on just beating things up, they got pretty good style, pretty nice architecture in here. I like it. I'm a big fan. And they will
Hey Josh,
yes.
on the way in there, if there's a moment, I think Vale would just kind of walk up towards Melly and just lean in and say, "I think it would be good to mention that the dragon was not at full strength when we encountered it because of Yon."
that was my intention.
Just gives you a nod and falls back behind you.
So they'll bring you back to that waiting room that you spent so much time in before, and they'll say, "Just a moment. I'll leave you alone for a few. And shortly after, you probably spend like maybe 3 minutes in this room, something like that. Not nearly as long as last time. Last time was what, like 15, 20, it was almost disrespectful the amount of time they left you waiting in there. Now you've kind of earned a faster audience. So the door will open up. You have this big long room. Again, kind of looks like some sort of dining room at first glance because there's this long table seating on both sides. But on the end of the room, there's this icy throne. And standing beside it is a frost giant that's gotta be like 22, 23 feet tall, something like that. He's a big boy. You've met him before. It's the Jarl. And he will just say to you, as before he says anything to you, you notice that on a chain on the side of the room, there's a direwolf pup in some sort of training. And it starts to make some noise, and he looks over and just stares at it for like a hot second, and it just lays down at his gaze, and he'll look to you all and just say, "I did not expect you to return so quickly. I'm told that it is finished."
It's the truth. The dragon has been felled. It was an impressive feat, not only by those who set out in this group, but it was significantly injured when we had came across it. I believe that as Bjorn fought, he severely injured it, paving the way for us to come in. It's with a heavy heart that I bring back his amulet and the news of his perishing.
He kind of breathes heavily. I am glad the beast was killed. Did he die well?
What we saw, he fought to the very end. And as I said before, he really brought down the dragon to something that would be more manageable. Not to say that it was a simple task, but he died a warrior's.
That is all we could ask. So my son died to pave the way for children to defeat this beast. Injured or not, It is still impressive. Do you have the amulet out, by the way, already? Like, I know you took it out of the bag, but like, do you think you would have like put it back in, or are you still just kind of like holding it?
Oh yeah, no, I definitely would have put it away. I don't think that would have been appropriate to like walk through the village with that in hand. So when there's like a pause in the conversation, Melly will pull it back out and like hand it towards him.
He'll kind of motion, just like make a motion, and one of his aides will walk over to you, take it out of your hand, and just present it to him. And Ragnar will take it, lift it up, just kind of look at it for a moment. You've done me a great service. Thank you for treating him with respect and avenging his death. Now, as promised, we will feast on the flesh of the dragon. And that will lead you to your reward. How far off is he?
Do you have a map that we might be able to mark precisely where he is, or are verbal directions sufficient? I'm certain you know the area.
We have a map. And he'll kind of point you towards a just this large tablet, kind of like built into a table, with a whole map of the region and the mountainside. And you notice that there are like several things marked off. You can't really read the writing, as I don't think anyone speaks giant, but
I speak it, I just can't read it.
oh, of course. Nice. But yeah, you would be able to just mark off where they were, where the dragon was and his son was.
We did harvest quite a bit of meat already. I could leave a deposit.
You harvested meat from the dragon by yourself?
It was a group effort. But yes, we took other parts. If there's anything in particular that you were hoping to have, we got a couple of different claws and other parts that we thought might be worth keeping.
You have the wings.
No. It was not something that I thought of taking. We did take its hide, though. And we have this. And Melly's just gonna pull, she's gonna pull the head with the horns attached to it out and just like hold it up.
Are you offering that to them?
I don't know what Melly was gonna do with it.
All right.
But sure, why not? unless someone in the party objects.
Ragnar himself kind of just like looks taken aback, and he'll walk up to you with the booming footsteps every time, and take this head of a dragon that somehow you were able to fit inside the bag of holding, and and he holds it up and looks at it and says, "This would make a mighty helm." Just kind of looks at it, hands it back to you, says, "But the first rites go to you. You were the ones who killed the dragon. I will go back and take the wings for ourselves, though, if they are still there."
As long as scavengers didn't take them. And when we left, it was still intact. But also, I believe that you have just as much right to this as a first person, as a part of the group who helped defeat them. Besides, it would be a bit big for any of us.
In that case, we will take it. He grabs it and gives you a nod. And just say, he'll say, "Now, where is the meat?"
Oh boy, Melly's gonna reach into the bag of holding, and she just starts pulling it out. She's just like the Mary Poppins, yep. She's not afraid to get her hands dirty.
And it is like hideous, as if you've ever it's if anyone's squeamish, it's pretty gross, as Melly just starts taking just the flesh of this dragon, just like piece by piece out of the bag, and just dropping it on the table, and Ragnar will just say, "Good. We will prepare this. We will eat together, and I will show you your reward."
Is there a place where we might be able to freshen up a bit?
Of course, there's a room for guests. We will bring you there. And he snaps his finger, and it's kind of like, to him it's a snap, but to you guys it's like a, and one of his aides will kind of come by, one of his servants, and he'll just say, "Show them to the guest quarters. We will retrieve you when the feast is ready. And I want to hear all the details of your battle with this beast."
Elia just nod. Wipe her arm on her forehead. She's got a little bit of blood up there now.
And the servant that's actually showing you where to go, it's actually a Durikar. If you don't know what that is, it kind of looks like a dwarf, but just like an Underdark dwarf essentially, and he'll kind of show you to the room, and everything's kind of giant sized in there, but there is plenty of room, so you're able to go there and unwind and have some time chilling together while they prepare everything.
Or the halflings have to stand on the chairs to be able to reach the table.
They might have like booster seats. I don't know. We'll find out, I guess. Does anyone have anything that they've like wanted to do in this time, or are you just kind of just letting the time pass?
I don't
Melly's
think anything
washing up.
specific.
Okay. All right. Well, as you guys are, what's up?
Oh, say Mac doesn't have anything in particular.
Perfect. All right. So while you all hang out there and while the giants prepare their feast, we're just going to take a quick break to let them get all that set up. So we'll be right back. If anybody has any questions about anything, please throw them in chat. Whether it's about this game specifically, game rules, anything like that, feel free to throw them in there and we'll answer them as soon as we return.
But here it is.
As the infamous Bill O'Reilly says, we'll do it live, right? I don't know what that means to play us out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
All right. So,
But Vale uses prestidigitation to help clean Melly off. So it's
let me ask you a question about that.
kind of gross.
When
Yes,
you
sir.
use prestidigitation to clean someone up,
Yeah.
does the dirt or blood or whatever, does it just like disappear, or do you just kind of like,
It just falls off.
yeah, is it like, you know, like the really good raincoats where like you see the water just kind of pool off on it and you can kind of just, and it'll
Right.
fall on the ground? Like what happens?
That's a great question. I mean, literally all it says is you instantly clean or soil an object no larger than 1 cubic foot. So I kind of feel like it just evaporates almost off. But
Like vaporize?
yeah, exactly.
That's a deep cut if anyone's seen that horrible movie.
But it is magic, so I feel like it almost would be weird. Like I just imagine a wizard that's like taking care of their house or whatever. It would be weird if the dirt just got moved around instead of getting like cleaned. I don't know. That's the way I see it, but
Okay. All right. I like it. Cool. Well, after you probably spend like 15 or 20 minutes in the room hanging out, and which is really not that long of a time for someone to prepare like a big meal, honestly. And the Durgar will come and on the door and open it up and kind of motion for you to follow him. And as you follow him down to down back to that great room with the very large throne, some would call it a throne room, that long table that we had mentioned every time you walk in there is now filled with food, and there are mostly like various meats on there. Most of it raw, actually, just kind of like cut up nicely. And then like there are also a few like kind of large pinto beans at the table as well. And a few like apples, berries, things of the sort. And there's a fairly large portion of what it would probably be safe to assume is dragon meat that has been on the outside. It at least looks like it's been like seared. and there's not a ton of people at this table. There are really only a few frost giants here, as he did mention to you last time that there was a war party out following the blizzard. And Ragnar will say to you, welcome back, and thank you for providing the kill for this meal. Please take a seat. And there are appropriately sized seats for you guys, for you people down there on that table.
So, are we like sitting on the table then? Or is it like they're just really tall chairs?
They're tall chairs.
Okay. All right, yeah, well, Melly will... I'm assuming there's like a ladder attached to it.
Yeah, it's easy enough for you to get up on the chair.
All right. We all get on our chairs. I'll say that for the party.
Thank you. Lovely. If anyone else doesn't say anything, Ragnar is just gonna say, "So, are you ready to tell the tale? How did you kill this great beast? What was it like? Where did you kill it?"
It was outside of its lair. It's all such a blur.
Do not be modest. Tell the story. We want to hear about this great conquest.
Well, the dragon saw us while we were planning to look into its lair, so we might have a plan put together. I feel like good planning is always imperative in fights like these. But it noticed us first, and it swooped down, and it was amazing. Without thinking about it or considering the ramifications or just how dangerous it was, or what could have happened, Echo sprang into action, and he and Vale, they were the ones who really dealt most of the damage.
Echo the child.
Not a child.
He says, eating like a handful of nuts. If there's any on the table.
There are nuts on the table. There nuts, apples, like wild berries, like I said, pinto beans, and dragon. That dragon that is cooked. Has anyone tried it yet, by the way?
Max eating it. I mean,
It's
as long as like everyone else is like eating, like the other giants are eating and whatnot, he's not the only person. But like, as soon as it's like dinner time, he's just starting to eat.
Nails into it.
It's like so rare. Like, you ever go out to eat with someone or like you're making steaks or burgers or whatever, and you're like, how do you want it? And they're like, still mooing. Like, it's that, it's essentially just seared on the outside.
It's black and blue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But maybe like a little bit more rare than that somehow, if that's possible. And you also will notice that the giants are eating their food raw. Or at least it looks raw. And really just focusing on meat, not really touching anything else there. You almost get the feeling the other stuff there was put out for you guys specifically. But as Echo says, not a child, the giant will kind of turn to Echo and say, "So, you killed this beast. How did you do it? What did it feel like?"
I wish I could say I killed the beast, but as Melly said, it saw us from afar. Seeing it, and I think at this point Echo might have had like a drink if there's like ale out, because you can see he's getting like a little bit loose with it.
There's mead out, there's ale, there's plenty of drinks.
So he's getting a little loose, and I think is like starting to see what they're looking for. The beast landed on the mountain, and roaring a mighty roar, raised its wings into the air. And seeing my only opportunity to give my friends a chance to slay the beast, I sprung into action, leapt onto its back, and struck its head.
You jumped on the beast's back and rode this dragon.
Aye, that I did.
You lie.
I stand, Echo stands, and then realizes that doesn't really change anything. But he still does it. He stands. You call me a liar, sir.
Please continue. I mean no disrespect. I've never heard of a child riding a dragon and fighting on its back.
He doesn't even interject with that. He just lets it go. Yes, I clung to the beast's back. It ripped into my skin with claws and teeth, tried to throw me with its wings. And yea, that it did. After mercilessly beating this beast, it threw me from its back, claiming to use me as a lesson in respect. From over 100 feet in the air, I fell. And through only my study of the martial arts and the magic, the spirit magic of Ki, do I stand here before you today.
They're all on the edge of their seats, by the way.
You had to be
And
at
the-
least 200 feet in the air.
You may be right, Sir Vale. And through Melly's magics and Mac's cunning, and finally, a simple arrow from an expert marksman, the cowardly dragon who turned tail to leave and go back to its hideout, tail between its legs, a simple arrow found the mark of an axe made by a brave frost giant. And lifeless, it fell from the sky.
He gets there's kind of oddly warm smile on his face as he picks up what you're putting down there, and he just kind of nods. Says, "A great tale indeed." How did it feel to fly on the back of the dragon?
It's something that I hope I only have to do once in a lifetime.
Well, once is enough for the glory you'll receive. We shall not soon forget these stories. And you will be known to our tribesmen as Echo, child tamer of dragons.
We'll workshop it. He kind of says that quietly, hoping that nobody hears it.
Is the food to your liking, godchild?
I'll make a. I'll just make a point to say that Echo has not eaten the dragon at all, and if any of the meats that like aren't cooked, which I guess is all of them, he definitely hasn't touched. But he'll still say, yes, all is perfect.
Good. Well, all of you, eat and drink until you've had your fill, and then eat and drink some more. You have all earned it.
You honor us, Jarl.
You have already honored me by killing the beast who fell my son.
Val nods. And drinks, you said there's mead? Is that right?
There is a Viking's Blood mead, which is essentially a mead made with wild cherries, so it has kind of like this, almost like a blood red look to it. There's ale. I mean, whatever you want. They pretty much got it all. There's whiskey as well, and there's water, and all of the glasses are frosted as they sit at the table.
Yes. I think Val would try the whiskey.
It's like, it's like a kind of abrasive. It's pretty hard, but smooth as it finishes. It's kind of nice. But a couple more of those, you're gonna be.
Yeah, no, he's sipping it. He's nursing it. He's going for like, I want to know what Frost Giant whiskey would taste like. He's
It doesn't take many of those to get City Elf wasted.
Yeah,
So.
Well done. What's Carrick doing? I'm curious what everyone's doing.
Carrick, kind of amused by by like Echo and Melly's storytelling, and especially at like the giant's reaction to that, and seeing him like spit out his mead at at Echo telling him that he rode the dragon, and but he's just he's eating, kind of I don't know, he's kind of just being present. I'm sure you guys kind of feel this too, but like frost giants are really known as just like monsters, right? To be feared and to shy away from. So this kind of like humanizing moments with them are just unexpected. But
Yeah, I think that whole process is new for Vale too. He tries the dragon meat, even though it's raw. Tries it. He's not going crazy with it, but he will partake. He's too curious to not see what's going on with all of it.
It's very rich. It's chewy. It's pretty chewy. But it's good. Just eat too much of it, you're gonna have to make a con save though, Mac. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, he eats a good amount. So if I need to make a gun save, I'll make a gun save.
unless you tell me that, like, your character would not eat that kind of food, and they're like, I want it like well done and that kind of thing, and they get grossed out by black and blue, then you're fine.
Mac has a cast iron stomach for this kind of stuff.
That's what I figured. That's
And he's just drinking some of the mead, but he's not like pounding it or anything. He's just drinking it like with his meal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's nice. Yeah, I mean, they kind of they'll just continue on, like, telling stories of beasts that they've killed, and Ragnar will tell you, when Bjorn was young, he went out into the mountainside, making his pilgrimage. He came back with a herd of winter wolves, a whole pack of them. He had killed the alpha, and the rest had decided to follow him. He was a good boy, a strong warrior.
Al just raises his glass. That's strong warrior.
Mac
May we
is the
all be
same.
so lucky to go out on our own terms.
So you said it's a small gathering. Is it like how many people besides us are there?
There's probably like 5 other giants there. Not a lot. It's a very trimmed down group right now, as he told you that the majority of their forces were out and about pillaging.
How is the sometimes when there's a group that size, there's like one thing happening and everyone's paying attention to it, and then sometimes like there's side conversations and whatnot. Is it what's that like?
There's like side conversations, but if Ragnar starts telling a story, everyone listens.
Yeah. I think after about halfway through the whiskey, Mac would probably notice Val just looking at him. And if they make eye contact and it seems like there could be a side conversation, he kind of saunters over to him. Just sits down.
Yeah, you'd be able to do that. You hear like kind of in the back, like someone's getting to like a really exciting part of a story on how he single-handedly took out a camp of orcs.
Really embellishing it, I'm sure, having fun.
Yep, slamming on the table, knocking things over.
Yeah. So Val just says, This is going to sound a little crazy. I want you to hear me out before you judge what I'm about to say. I believe you should consider apologizing to the Queen. And he just looks at you for a brief moment to see any kind of micro reaction. Because Vale's his eyes are a little. He's a little like, maybe slightly under, a little tipsy.
So whenever you said to hear you out, I kind of like nodded.
Okay.
Now, I'm not gonna say that my head didn't pick back up just a little bit, but like there was no other reaction on Mac's face.
He's just listening. Okay.
Yeah, just kind of like you know, like because kind of like nod like I hear you, then you say that, and it's kind of like you've got my undivided attention.
Yeah. He kind of just says, not because you're actually sorry. Because I think, correct me if I'm wrong, you're not. And he just kind of stares out. His eyes look a little glassy at the moment. But she could be a very good ally to have. With, you know, everything that's going on. And he kind of just looks back at you. Something to consider, at least.
I think we may have a different definition of good ally.
Vale's brow furrows. Shakes his head. It's not like it's weird. Like he's a little tipsy, but it's not like emotional. He's perplexed. Where did that come from, anyways?
Being railroaded into risking our lives to go fight a dragon just to take a teleporter? Like, seriously?
You know you could have said no, right?
And then be stuck?
Mac, when have you ever been stuck somewhere?
Me sneaking out and our group sneaking out are two different things.
Fair enough, but
And whereas we may think that Melly's okay, we still don't know if there's residual effects there. And so time is of the essence. Which is the only reason why I even agreed to thinking that we were going to be able to come to Uthadern to be able to get a teleportation circle, which would have shaved time off. But if then we were to leave from there, then that would have just added another, 4 or 5 days, maybe a week to our trip.
when you mentioned Melly potentially still being sick, Vale's eyes kind of go very wide. He's like, so you did consider that?
Of course.
You realize you could have been thrown in jail, right? And then we would have had to figure out how to get your ass out of there or take care of her.
You would have taken care of her. But she wasn't going to throw us in jail. She needed us to kill the dragon.
You have a lot of experience with queens.
More
It
than
doesn't
I'd
sound
like.
like doesn't sound like you know this one.
Are we in
Told
jail?
you. No thanks to you.
Would appear I was correct.
The only reason you're not in jail is because my brother. Why were you even in that meeting in the first place? I thought being anonymous was important.
The minute that we decided that we were going to go talk to the queen, anonymity went out the window.
Don't understand it. We didn't have to. She wasn't forcing us to do anything.
Other than being stuck.
No, this conversation's going nowhere. Either way, you don't have to believe me, but if there was a government that we would need to have as an ally in this whole thing, he goes, this would be the one. So he just kind of shrugs.
And if the artifact is as powerful that the governments would be worried about it, you don't think that she would still cooperate with a mouthy little halfling? With that kind of power on the line?
She would do what she thought was best for her people. Plain and simple. I'm very sorry that whatever queen you have interacted with in the past has hurt you.
You act like she didn't do the exact same thing.
She didn't. She did us a favor, and you know it.
No. Having us go risk our lives for the sake of a teleportation circle, which shows that she can just do it at the snap of her fingers if she wants to anyway.
Mac, if she
Coercing
believes that her
people like
people
that?
are threatened and that was what was keeping them safe, why should she break that for us? Why?
But she's willing to break that for us just because we went farther away and killed a dragon?
She
That's
has
not
to-
that for the reason that they locked down the city? Killing this dragon has nothing to do with that. So
It's a
all of
matter
a
of
sudden it can
trust.
be if she trusted your brother as much as you say she does, we wouldn't have needed to do this. Or she's using the situation to put our lives at risk because that doesn't risk any of her people to kill something.
Vale just shakes his head. I think we found enough enemies. We don't need to go looking to make more. And that's exactly what you did when you opened your mouth in there.
Make more? I was being practically sent to my death to go fight a dragon, and you want to say whether I'm worried about more enemies or not? You do realize none of us may have come back from this.
Yes, I do realize
And
that.
then what would have enemies mattered then?
All I'm trying to tell you is that I think we're going to find enough enemies. We don't need to seek to make more.
I'm not seeking to make more. She made an enemy of me the minute that she put that kind of pressure on us.
Well, then the moment you find an enemy in your midst, you don't need to announce it to the world either.
Well, don't to all of them. Depends on the situation.
Vale is studying you at the moment. Like, you've seen him look this way a few times before.
You see fire in Mac's eyes. Like, just there's some rage behind it. Like, he's not like getting extremely loud or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
But you can tell that there's like passion behind it, not just like trying to be a jerk.
Yeah.
Even if it looks like he's being a jerk.
I won't say Vale doesn't seem to be feeling that, but he knows Mac well enough to know that he's going to be who he is. He's just studying you, and he's like,
And there's a time and situation for everything. Am I going to go charging back in there and throw the dragon's head at her? No. At this point, we've done what she asked.
I don't think you should see her again. Not in my presence.
Whatever needs to be done, needs to be done. If you guys want me to sit out, I'll sit out.
I don't know why I expected different. That's my fault. Just know this. If we're ever in a situation in which one of your family members calls in every favor that they have to find a way to help us accomplish our goals, I would never treat them or embarrass them the way you did for me.
If my family member gave their word that they would do something, I would expect nothing less of them.
Noted. Vale walks away.
As you walk away, everyone else at the table, make a perception check.
Sick.
6?
12.
Okay. And a natural 19 for Carrick, so way more than that. Melly, you are like engrossed in this giant's story as he's like getting into like all these details and just like really there's a lot of showmanship there. Like it's like you know, Dwayne The Rock Johnson has the microphone in the stage and he's just going on and on and on, you know, exactly. And you're there for it. Echo, you were kind of like listening in as well too, but at some point in that conversation, you noticed Mac and Vale, and both of them, I think, trying to keep their voices down to an extent.
Maybe at first.
Yeah, I'd say maybe
The
at
body
first,
language
again,
grew.
Mac wasn't yelling, but he was speaking semi-forcefully. Like it wasn't like a whisper back and forth. Like I wouldn't be surprised if other people kind of quieted down some.
Okay, all right. Well, then in that case, Echo, you probably noticed like half to quarter to 3/4 of the way through. You saw that Carrick was listening at that point too, and towards the end, like when Mac is like, I would expect him to see it through. The giant's he kind of like stops, and everyone kind of looks at the two of you for a second, and then the other one, you know, the Dwayne The Rock Giant is just like he just is like, anyway, and he just like continues like going like on and on about what was going on.
Vale walks out the door, I think.
Okay, interesting. Like out
of the room.
of the palace. Oh, just out of the room. Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
So I think that's all anyone else would see. If you need me
Sure.
to go farther, let me know.
Well, I mean, I'll just tell you that like when you walk out, the Duragar assumes that you're trying to find the restroom, so he points you to basically brings you to this spot, and as you walk through, there's kind of like a little stall area, and you look down into this hole, and there is a gelatinous cube way down there.
The fantasy equivalent of the urinal cake. Okay. Yeah, Vale just goes in the stall and closes it. Just It's fine.
Mhm. Also, I mean, let's just I'm gonna say inspiration for Vale and Mac for that because that was excellent. And yeah, I mean, is there anything you wanted to point out, or just you just needed to exit scene left?
No, Vale just wanted a breather. He just didn't want to be in the conversation. He didn't want to.
Mm-hmm.
He's withdrawn to himself right now.
No problem.
He doesn't take like an abnormal amount of time in the stall either. Like he leaves after a moment, you know. But he just like stays in the hallway for a minute, finds some kind of bench and climbs up on it.
Okay.
The juxtaposition of a giant bench and Vale's legs just hanging off the edge of it.
Yeah, he was just swinging, you know. Okay. Is there anything specific anyone else wants to mention going on with the feast, or we're just letting that autoplay? After that.
I'll just point out that Echo definitely drank too much. He saw all that happen and it like made him feel even weirder about everything, like anxious, so he started drinking more, but he hasn't really eaten anything besides nuts, like just like a couple of nuts. So he just keeps going, and a little bit later he's like on one of their shoulders, like while they're talking about stuff and like hyping them up.
Is he now telling the story of like the basilisk or something like that? Or
he would have like if one of them was like, come on, child dragon, like, because they all I'm assuming can't figure out the title, so they're just sort of putting child tamer dragon in like different order. And yeah, he would be telling them about, you know, the different stories, the basilisk, the hag, the, you know, just kind of regaling them with whatever tales he's got.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Very nice. Oh man, I'm gonna end up having to spend a lot more money because I need Ro to draw this scene. Oh man, excellent. Okay.
Are you going on now about how when you were up on the dragon?
I'll say that's actually the one thing he doesn't really feel like super interested in rehashing. Like they might ask him and he'll just be like, yeah, that was pretty intense. How about this hag? That was pretty good.
Nice.
Mac is just continuing to eat some more dragon meat, even though if anyone notices, he's not drinking nowhere near as much. Not that he was drinking a lot before, but now kind of it's just like only if he needs some liquid, which, you know, the black and blue meat's pretty juicy as it is, so.
So after like a good amount of time, Ragnar will say to you all to just, well, are you ready for the reward? It's not so much an item or a bag as it is a place I must take you to. If you need time to sober up first, that is to be expected, especially for Godchild. The motion's over to Echo.
No, I'm good.
Does Does anyone else in the party seem inebriated other than Echo?
Mac is not.
You don't see Vale. He's not in the room.
Oh, jeez. All right. Well, first, correct me if I'm wrong, but lesser restoration will fix drunkenness, right?
It is a form
Probably.
of poison.
Yeah, I will say yes. I'm not even gonna look that up. Yes, it will.
Okay. So Melly will very casually cast lesser restoration on Echo.
Evan,
And
good.
oh, I was gonna go out of the room. So
Okay, all right. So like as you do that, Evan, have you ever had a night out and suddenly like something not great happens and just instantly, no matter how far gone you were, suddenly you're back. And it's just like that moment of like, oh crap.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of get that, but you actually are sober now. It's a really weird feeling to be where you were and then suddenly like somebody hit the reset button.
Mm-hmm. Would he have recognized that was magic involved in that? I'm assuming there was some kind of verbal component or something, like a little shimmer of magic when that happened.
I'd say you probably would have, but I'll let Melly describe if she has anything specific that it might have looked like.
so she's doing it discreetly, but like not
Okay.
discreetly from Echo. So like she kind of like leans over and like grabs like the palm of his hand, draws his like the little symbol on his hand, like whispers the incantation into his ear, and then is like, Echo, we're supposed to go somewhere, and I figured you would want all of your facilities at tip-top tier. I'm sorry if I spoiled your fun, but I don't know how far we'll have to walk. And I didn't want you to be sick or unwell if it's a far travel.
Oh, thank you. No, thank you, Melly. I didn't know you could do that. And he smiles very warmly at you with that. Oh. Is Vale coming? And he kind of starts looking around.
About that, I'm not really sure where he is at the moment. I'm assuming you haven't seen him since you just looked around for him.
No, I saw him and Mac. Like, it's a little blurry, but he and Mac were talking about something, and then one of the giants asked me about the dragon, and I don't really remember what happened.
Your moody elf friend took a bite of the food and headed toward the restroom. One of the giants just says kind of like casually, as if he knows exactly what had happened.
The camera pans out slightly to reveal there's been a giant like between us this entire conversation, just like his head. I think with that, Echo would probably he would turn and whichever giant said it and thank him, and then turn to Melly and kind of shrug. Do you think we should go find him?
Well, Melly's gonna like lean in real close to Echo and whisper in his ear. So there was this one time when my mother didn't eat meat for a really long time. And then she ate meat. And she was in the bathroom for a very long time afterward. And I don't want to embarrass Vale if that is the situation that is happening right now. I maybe only one of us should go to check on him to see if he's okay.
Do you want me to go knock on the door? I could just go make sure he's okay. I don't know if there's separate restrooms, but I can go take a look.
Okay, let me know if he's unwell, and I can see if I can restore him to his previous well-being.
Okay. Thank you, Melly. And I hope your mom's okay now.
Oh, she is. She doesn't not eat meat anymore.
All right, well. And then he just turns around and hops off the chair that he's on or whatever. Just hops down and makes his way over there.
He's just in the hallway on the bench, just sitting there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Now
he's
wait,
not in the bathroom anymore.
I do have a question about this. Because of how high the bench is, and Vale is on top of the bench, would Echo immediately see him, or would he just walk right past? I know he's not drunk anymore, so I know chances are probably higher that he would see him, but
I think he'd probably see him.
Probably used
If,
to looking
if
up.
nothing else, he sees the legs swinging.
Yeah, so I think he makes his way back there, and the sensation of going from, very drunk to sober on a dime was very weird. So like every couple of steps, he'll just smack his face a little bit because like that numbness isn't there anymore. And he's just kind of like, oh, hello up there.
Hey,
Oh.
it's a splash of cold
Wait.
water. Yeah, like
Yeah, with that, you can see his expression change immediately. Oh, are you okay? Was it the restroom?
what?
Oh, Emily said, I'm sorry. What's... Are you okay? We're preparing to go somewhere. Something about a reward and it being a place.
Vale looks at you, and you know he's not okay. But he says, I'm fine. And he hops down.
No, you're not. And he just says it straight, just like that. Expression, like, now worried.
It doesn't matter.
Okay,
It'll
well...
be fine. It's not... He's not saying it doesn't matter, so I'll be fine. Like, give me time. It doesn't matter. So instead, I'll just be fine. Like, that's the way it comes across.
Does Vale start walking away after he says that, or is he...
No, he's just standing there looking back at you. Like, almost like he might be waiting for you to initiate leaving, but for the moment he's just staring back.
I think Echo's not totally sure what to do with that. So there's a couple seconds where he's almost as maybe like kind of turns his head for a second, like he's looking for something else to be happening. Like there was something else in the room that he missed that Vil was dealing with. But then he'll just say, you don't have to just be fine, Vale. If you have a problem, I mean, we're in this together. And if you need time to process something or think about something, that's fine too, but whatever I can do.
He sadly smiles, like it's a forced smile, like you would see something like your mother or father or Master Dinawa. Not that they're putting on a brave face, but that kind of like a. I've been trying to process
the
it for
damage is
days.
already done. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems like this might not be the best moment for this based on expectations. Are they waiting for us? Or
Oh, so to speak. They said we have time if we need it.
I tried to talk to him about it. It went
He takes
poorly.
a second. He looks confused, and then kind of like snaps to and realizes what you're talking about.
He just says it went
Oh.
poorly.
Oh.
What do you think about that?
About
Didn't really speak about the outburst in the throne room. Am I
I'll be
crazy?
honest, I'm not sure. To some extent, I'll say it this way. My first reaction was actually to support it, the outburst.
Bell
Becau-
makes a face.
and he knowing that was coming, he'll just put his hand up like please. But I didn't realize. I just didn't realize. Your brother really did put himself out there to get us here. And was he able to deliver? Not exactly, but that wasn't really his fault. He only has so much sway, and it's very clear that a lot of people have a lot of respect for him. But he only has so much that he's able to do. After our last conversation about this, I think I understand. And he didn't deserve that. I was thinking a bit selfishly, I think. Because we really have been dragged all up and down the world over this adventure. And it feels a lot of the time like we're always beholden to someone. So for someone to take a moment and say no, that's enough because we matter. But at the cost of potentially your brother's reputation. Luckily, that didn't happen. But who's to say it wouldn't next time? I just want to say that I hear you, Vale, and I'm sorry.
Don't want you to take this the wrong way, Echo, but what do you hear? What did I say?
I can see it in your face. But
I'm not going to pretend that him embarrassing my family doesn't hurt. But that's a very small part of why I'm upset. I feel like I don't trust him. On his judgment. Melly said she admired it too. That makes me think there must be something wrong with me. To not want to anger a queen. Yes, if there's something wrong with me. To not want to hurt your friend. Surely there must be something wrong with me. To not potentially put more things out in the open when all I've been doing is preaching anonymity. Hide. Don't let anyone know anything. Nope, there must be something wrong with me. I don't need more enemies, Echo. Not even saying she would do it. It's just... Maybe he was drunk. Maybe I'm drunk.
Echo is just looking at you with a very... He's looking at you with kind of an expression like a child that you just yelled at, as you know, as much as he's been saying he's not a kid. He looks very like apologetic, but in a way where there's like a little bit of, I guess it's like fear and a lack of understanding, like a lack of real understanding behind it. I think it's just like this is so much new information that he's like a little bit intimidated by it. But then
when he recognizes that, he shakes his head like, eh. Puts his hand on your shoulder. I'm trying to take this out on you. Sorry if I am.
No. It's all right. Obviously this has been bothering you for quite a while.
I didn't know how to say it without sounding like I was being the child. I still don't. And then it's like I'm the one bringing up an issue. I nearly sell my soul to the devil himself, and I'm going to stand on a soapbox? But does that mean that I shouldn't say it if I perceive danger? You could... He's like... You could tell this is what's been spinning around in his head every time. On all the journey here, to the dragon, back, all the quiet time. You just see it playing out right now in front of you. And he still hasn't come to an answer.
For the most part, Echo's just kind of standing back and letting him, like, air this all out. Just listening.
Yeah, just...
Vale, I wish I had the answers. But what I can say is, as ugly as it may end up, I think this is a conversation that we need to have with everybody. Because I don't think I realized how much of this was on your mind, my friend. And we are our own little weird family here. We are one unit. This is something that I think everyone needs to know. Because I think the only thing that's going to change anything is perspective. And if not everyone has your perspective, they may not know what you're dealing with. And what they could be doing better. Does that make sense? He
Sure
looks
does.
very frustrated as he's finishing that. Like, everything's just all tangled up.
I think I may have just thought of a nickname for you.
I hope it's better than Dragon Child Riot Tamer God.
Little light. It has nothing to do with the size of your heart. It's just... You're not tall. But you are a light, Echo. One that I need right now. Thank you.
He'll just nod kind of, I'd say mostly somber, but there's a slight smile as he goes through it. Maybe a little bit forced.
Maybe tonight we'll talk about it. I don't know.
With any luck.
My brother being around is a little awkward with everything. Don't get me wrong, I love him. As much as he drives me crazy.
He loves you too.
I know.
He'll be looking kind of away, like not looking Vale in the eyes when he says that, even if like it's not something he intended to do.
That's family.
I think he doesn't. How long has it been since you've seen him? Before now?
Oh, I probably haven't been back to Utherden in maybe 12 years. Time is a little different when you live as long as we do.
That's fair. Your brother. I think your family seems to forget a bit who you are, and it might be because of the work you do. But I think your brother sees it a lot more clearly now. Who you are and what you stand for. I just think that's important to know.
I've noticed it too, Echo. But you're right. Not many people do know who I am, and I haven't really felt that until, well, our little adventure together.
I think at this point, Echo will probably look back toward the room to kind of see how it looks. Like, are people, if he's able to see in there from here, are people like preparing to leave, or is everyone just sort of still sitting at the table?
Have a strong feeling Mac is still eating. Everyone else is they're just kind of continuing on, realizing that you went to go do something, so they might as well just continue what they were doing before. So
Vale says, I think you've got the right idea. As he sees you look the other way.
Yeah, he'll nod and smile and just kind of maybe pat him on the back once.
I kind of would like to see you jump and get right in his face and say something. I think they would get a kick out of that.
I'll keep that in mind if it comes up.
You gotta show you can jump on the back of that dragon. What better way?
I wouldn't believe it if I hadn't done it. So. Yeah, and I think Echo would just continue along.
Vale would follow suit.
so you walk back into the room. So everybody notices that you're back in.
Mac would.
Melly was probably watching the door. She was waiting to see if Echo is coming back in to let her know about Vale's situation.
So Echo's walking back in and sees Melly waiting expectantly. I would assume, like, kind of like how is it? And as he's walking in his best attempt to disguise this from Vale, he'll just be like, kind of like gesture, like it was really bad.
Roll to see if I see that.
It was really bad in there.
Yeah, you could roll to see if you see
Yes.
it. You want to roll stealth for Echo, I guess?
Yeah, sure. This is what the 20 was made for.
Yep, I got a 13.
That's great. Jake, you do have inspiration if you want to see if you can get a nat 20.
I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah, so
That's fine.
I will say you don't notice Echo's motion, but you do notice whatever Melly's reaction to that is, you would notice.
Oh, I don't know if Melly has a good poker face. Hold on, let's roll for it. Let's see. Actually, she probably does, because she's pretty good at performance.
Vel walks back in the room, feeling different.
All right, yeah. She's very subtle about it. She just like kind of nods her head. When Vale gets close enough, she will lean in and go, how is your tummy feeling?
What?
Are you okay?
Val looks at Echo. What did you say I was doing?
He'll just continue walking past to like go back to his seat.
My tummy. It's fine. He looks genuinely perplexed.
Of course. In Melly's mind, Vale's pretending like nothing happened because he's embarrassed.
Oh, man.
You know, like when your parents like,
Mm-hmm. Well, I think Val would recognize that, but he just doesn't have the strength to care.
Oh, man.
well, Ragnar said that, oh gosh, well, that we're going to need to travel a little. I don't know actually if it's traveling very far, but, that our prize isn't an object but a place.
Val's head cocks to the side. Intriguing. Did he say anything else?
I did not. If you are all ready, I can take you there.
Man.
What is Mac doing?
Mac was finished eating at this point, and it's just kind of just waiting for whenever we were gonna be going to that, because obviously he heard the frost giant state that, so he was just kind of waiting. And I mean, he noticed when Echo left and figured he was probably going to go get Vale, and was just waiting for them to come back.
I do believe that we're all ready to go to this location.
Follow me. And he gets up and starts starts walking. And you're walking through the fortress at this point, until you get to a section that you get to a section that kind of opens up, and there it's almost like you could walk directly into. Oh man, you guys are killing me with the chat now. You could walk directly into the mountain itself, and as you start following him on this path through there, you probably walk for like half an hour or so, and he isn't really saying much about anything, but eventually you do get to this place where there's like a thin, icy, curvy pathway, and he'll just say, "You'll have to travel the rest of the way yourself, but it is just past there. This is a place of great power. Your leader," and he motions to Melly, "will learn much from here." Whenever you are ready, you may continue onward. Best of luck to you all. If I don't see you, know that I will remember all of your faces. And I especially will never forget Echo, the halfling with tails taller than myself. And kind of nods to you.
Echo will do a deep bow to that.
Vale will nod too, respectfully.
If ever you have a need, know that you have allies in the north.
Thank you for showing us the way. And for lending your strength to us.
He
Is
just
anyone-
go ahead.
You go.
Oh, I was just gonna say he just kind of like nods, like respect, like, you know, everything that needed to be said was said is kind of what you're getting from him. Like he'll stay there and listen to you guys as long as you want, but he's kind of just nodding.
Guess we'll start walking.
Are all of us going, or is only Melly supposed to be going?
He was saying goodbye to all of you.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, then I mean, I guess with the way that he said that, I would somewhat expect Melly to lead the way. Mac would kind of be waiting for her to make the move. Now, if somebody else starts going first, he probably would still continue. He would follow on, but
So before Melly starts walking forward, she'll turn around real quick and say, "May the All-Father be with you." And then turn back around. Is anyone standing next to her?
I'd say Vale is.
I would be standing. Max would be standing close to her. I mean, I don't know exactly next to, but
Okay, anyone who's like within reaching distance, she's grabbing your hands because she's nervous. So you can either hold her hand or not, but she's reaching out towards you guys.
Vale grabs it.
Mac would also.
And she's gonna start walking.
All right. So as you continue on through this path, it's like you're traveling. It's almost like you're inside of a glacier because there's just so much ice everywhere. I know obviously you're not on the water, you're in a mountain, but That's just what it's akin to. And the path kind of gets thinner and thinner, and it's curving upwards, and you see all the way down. It's also, by the way, starting to get kind of dark in this area, so Melly might want to light bulb torch.
Melly will do that.
So you continue on through for probably about like 15 minutes or so, something along those lines. Moving carefully on this swervy-turvy path, and eventually you kind of reach the top, and as you get to this kind of ledge spot, you see built into this mountainside there are these pillars with these just ornate carvings all along the sides, where there's flames and just kind of like really fancy looking designs. No like writing or anything like that. And there's a doorway which is open.
Well, I think that we're supposed to go in there. But, I don't know how safe it is. I feel like it should be safe. But, you know how it's like there's a trial, sometimes you think it's over, and then there's like another surprise one?
Ellie, sometimes the only way you grow is when you find yourself in situations that make you uncomfortable. If this is a trial, you will pass with flying colors, and we will be here by your side.
Melly gives both her hands a little squeeze.
And as you can see, Mac has a dagger in the other hand that's not being held by yours. I give your when you do that, I squeeze it back, kind of a thing. Give a little bit of that reassurance.
So does Vale.
She's gonna let go of your hands, and if you guys are gonna, I don't know if you're gonna follow her in, but she's gonna walk in to the door. Not into the door, she's gonna walk through the doorway.
My bad.
What is she doing?
I thought you meant something different, y'all. Okay. Y'all's crazy.
Because
Go ahead,
I was say because it made it sound like all of us were supposed to go. I would be following relatively close to her. I don't know if Vale would have tried to like go first. If he did, I would have let him. But if he wasn't like, not obviously I'm thinking that he probably would be too. But like,
If there was room to go 2 by 2, he would be behind Melly, but next to you.
Yeah, there would be room to go 2 by 2. And as you continue on through, it's kind of just like a hall with these ornate pillars lining the way. And as you walk through them, maybe about like, I don't know, 30 feet of that, something like that. As you walk through, you find this massive chasm, and on the other side you see there's some sort of opening, as if another gateway to enter through. But the other side is at least like 150 feet away. Taking a look around the room, you see that on each side of this chasm, there is a little bit of walking room to the left and to the right of it, to an extent. Doesn't go all the way down, and there are these we'll call them platforms, 4 on each side. And I think we'll just pick up there next week. I'll let you guys think on that for a little bit.
Request denied. Let's keep going.
But you didn't think Val and Mac would agree on something tonight, but dang.
So, yeah. No, we're definitely going to pick up there next week.
I thought we were gonna go late because we started late. Isn't that how it works?
Sorry. What if I could, but unfortunately we can't. That was a great session, guys. I love to, as a DM, I love to just be able to sit back and watch you all just go dive directly into your characters and do amazing things and have really cool conversations. So that was great to all of you. Well, if this is your first time here, hope you enjoyed yourself. If you want to catch up on past episodes, you could do so. Find our YouTube, youtube.com/JNJ Tabletop. We have an Ancient Relics and Hokey Religions playlists there where you could watch past episodes, and the ones that are not on YouTube yet, you'll be able to find those anywhere you could find podcasts under Rare Drop Roleplay. So just do Command J&J and chat, go to our link tree. You could follow us pretty much everywhere: Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Definitely check out our Discord if you want to talk, because we love to have conversations about all sorts of silly things and then also some serious things like all throughout the week. So if you'd like to be part of that, join the Discord. We'd love to have you there. Definitely follow Rare Drop Roleplay, subscribe to them on YouTube. Remember, it is September, so definitely take advantage of that and support all your favorite people on Twitch. And aside from that, I mean, stay tuned this week as we have some more faith-themed videos coming at you. We'll see you on the next one. Be kind to each other, stay safe. See you on Sunday.